It's like 2 o'clock on a Saturday. Road and Alliances should have been repaired this year. 62 U.S. It's shot. Be better if they bypass the town and like they've been trying to since the last century. Wow, that road's horrible. So we went to a restaurant a friend of my parents brought us to when we were very young, almost 50 years ago. This is Don Poncho's Tex-Mex Cafe in Alliance. They're at least their third location since that time. From that time. It is some stormy looking wintry clouds. Heavy winds from the south, very heavy winds. I mean, I'm feeling it in this little car. Imagine driving the van. And the temperature is, dash temp is 75 degrees. It looks like it could be in the 30s or 40s with winter coming and stuff. A lot of motorcycles out. Is tumbleweeds, which is not native to Ohio, as far as I know. Well, late lunch was excellent. They weren't too busy. A little over half capacity when we walked in. A lot of people checked out. We're finishing up from lunch. So, got 2 bags of chips to go. I'd let you see a little ride between Alliance and Salem. We planned on doing it the other way, but it just didn't work out. Sounds like it's coming through Alliance, just west of the Union on this road. There was a car that made a right turn into a parking lot across the corner, where they have that red rubber and stuff for wheelchairs to cross. That's something I've never seen before. And a little speeding GMC behind me is behaving because there's a police car on the left. So Perkins here, it looks like they shut down recently. They must have hooked up with another Perkins or something. This one always did good. They were always busy. I haven't eaten there since Conrail paid for the dinners, and then some photography contest. I went and picked up a free pie I won, and I chose the lemon meringue. But yeah, they're shut down, and the motel, the old time motel, is still nice. It was kept in good shape next door, and a lot of the Perkins parking ran over in front of the motel. most of the time. There he goes. So back when I was young, it was the Hippity Hop restaurant. They had a beautiful pink neon sign you could see for miles, and animated. Likely we're going to go home and put the car on charge. We're at 21%, 55 miles range left, 340 traveled since the last home charge. The wife was in a little bit of a hurry. It looks like the charge we did in North Kent was free yesterday, so I only put on just a little bit. We did the free charge for a little over an hour in Columbiana. Ate lunch there earlier in the week. And then the EV Go charge before we went to Pittsburgh, or actually, coming back from Pittsburgh a week ago Thursday, just to add enough on for sightseeing, so we wouldn't have to put it on charge when we get home. So yesterday would have been nice if we stayed plugged in. It's a nice location to hit the freeway and top off if I head into West Virginia, just to get a little, comfort room. So we're showing, let's see, we're still 4.8 miles per kilowatt hour. So we put it on Facebook. It's since we put in the Emporia monitoring system in the breaker box, we rang up 200 kilowatt hours charging the car, probably just less than 2 months. And then it's 4.98 cents a kilowatt hour from Dynegy. That's contracted until the end of the year through Salem, Ohio. So that's 200 nickels is $10. Of course, the 200 times the 4.8 is like, what, 960 miles for $10. So I think I figured out when the wife's car did 32 miles a gallon, that would come out to $116. And of course, we traded in an extended Chevy Express van for this, which actually did real good for gas mileage for how big and heavy it was. It's amazing, that thing, that 8-speed transmission and all the new technology. I think it'd stay in the 20 mile per gallon range, and it was rated 29 highway. They said they changed all that a few years ago to make it more honest, but you used to get more on the highway than what they tell you now. So I'm not sure I could ever get 29, but maybe a little over 25 with that huge van. So we had the newer fishing boat and the kayaks and trikes inside that fishing boat in the garage last winter. And then the van and the big riding mower took up the other half of the garage. So the fishing boat we sold, the van had traded in, and the wife's old car and the wife's new car side by side in the garage, and figure out where to put that riding mower because it takes up a lot of room. And it's got like a 54-inch deck on there. So she's nervous about the snowblower being between the garage doors. She said, "Can't they go in front of the cars?" I said, "Well, you kind of need that sometimes to let the cars out of the garage." Still got a kayak to hang, and then 14 foot of kayak in the van. I got to figure out where to put that for the winter, because all that stuff was in the back of the fishing boat last year. So this car will be in the attached garage, and the wife's cars will be in the detached garage. And if we drove smart cars, everything would fit in the big garage. I think I could get 6 smart cars in the detached garage. Wow, somebody's burning some leaves or something. So their oldest cat is so skinny, and I gave him tuna fish this morning. Gave him tuna fish with mayonnaise and a little bit of relish yesterday, because he likes the whatever drops off my tuna fish sandwich. Oh boy, I didn't see him eat much. Boiled him chicken Thursday night. He seemed to eat that. Nobody ate what I put in the other bowls. He seems to like a fresh egg, slightly cooked with butter, and I put in some powdered milk and stuff. So, got this chicken from Sam's. I'm gonna, like, the wife's the one that told me to boil it to make it more tender. I was using it for salads, but I think I'll boil it, and I'm gonna look for some chicken gravy or something that's Aldi's to pour on that, make it a little bit more tempting or tantalizing for him. And then pick up some canned cat food. No matter what cat food I buy canned, if he goes crazy for it, he gets tired of it. And he's just scary skinny. So I don't know. We don't know how to take him to the vet. He's not a cat you can just pick up and go with. He's deadly accurate with the claws. There's no way to hold him if he doesn't, and he never wants to be held. His stomach's actually the least sensitive area on him. His back, he never wants petted in the back. And he's just, like I said, he's just super accurate when he goes with those claws and stuff. It just scares me how skinny he is. 15. He looks like he's 15 years old now. And he's in much better shape than he was a year and a half ago when I started giving him canned food. He wasn't doing much of anything. So now he's jumping up to look out the window and getting down. He's not jumping from the floor in between the curtain and the windowsill anymore. He must have had a mishap that stopped that from happening. He's the one that stuck by me all the years I was bedridden, screaming, puking, and all that for well over a decade. Well, less than a decade, I guess. So I'll buy a couple dozen eggs and maybe another thing of unsalted butter for him. I'm going to the butter real quick for him, trying to make everything tasty. I guess it's like a hospice thing or something. So he seems to be crazy about food, but he's not being in any way. Like I said, the burgundy and maroon ones are the best looking. What is that little thing? Not sure what that is. It's like an old Jaguar and a Mazda Miata mated. So whatever leaves are left on the trees, this wind's going to take a lot of them. Everything, we're past peak by over a week here. It's still 75 degrees. That's pretty amazing. Tire, now Major League Tire. And it says help wanted, top pay, inquire within. Huh. Maybe the guy retired. He was doing quite a bit. Used to be Packard dealer both sides of the road here. In the last years they were in business. Duncan's hiring. Excuse me. Might just be a good day to go home and stay inside with the wind blowing. Definitely want to fly the drone. Might not see it again. It's held pretty steady and the winds have taken it in. For a cheap drone, that's pretty good, but it rocks around a lot. GM new cars, wow. Well, they got a lot. Wow. A lot of new GM cars finally. That lot was pretty empty. It's all been some used cars. So that's come around. Yeah, the wife's Chevy Equinox, it's at least turning, and that's the way most people buy cars nowadays. She's averaging over 32 miles a gallon going back to work every day. Well, that is amazing, because that's not a small car. That's 10 miles a gallon better than the Nissan Murano. So I drive the Nissan Muranos I've been cleaning it for, and it feels like a heavy, overweight beast. So I looked up the weight, and the Murano is less than 100 pounds heavier than this little car. Which is amazing. So, well, I think we're going to cut off there. That's the trip between the lights in Salem with downtown Salem. Early November, windy as can be, and mid-70s. I haven't seen shoes like that since the 70s. Couldn't have cut that video out there, everybody had to see that. So, Center Salem. The old Red Barn is now Josie's Pizza. World War I Memorial Building, Carnegie Library. Alright. Be safe out there if you would, like and share. If you don't like to hear me ramble, hit the mute button. So, have a great day.